Let's get that shit straight first, right? Somebody put fifth. No, not the fifth dimension. You was already in the fifth dimension. You was there before you came to the third dimension. Now people in the third dimension saying, oh man, oh, fifth dimension. Like, no, man, you can't play both sides of the fence. Like I was talking about the abortion the other day, and I was saying all the energy it takes just for you to incarnate. You mean to tell me that them ancestors that are custodial gatekeepers to those bloodlines, you wasted their time. You got their hopes up and came into their bloodline. And once you came out your mama womb, now it's, oh, I got to go to the fifth dimension. No, you don't, motherfucker. You was compelled to come here and take part in what was going on here. You was already in the fifth dimension. Right? But you don't know that if you just starting to wake up. You think that you woke. Right? You ain't going to figure that shit out in 10 minutes. And I got to talk about the downloads. Let me go back over downloads again. Because a lot of y'all be misinterpreting what a download is. When you receive a download, that's a direct channel, right? Or that's a streamline of consciousness that's being relayed from your oversoul, from your divine self, that is coming from your galactical core. It will bring you to within an inch of your life. This is why I keep telling you guys, listen, you are 7.5 million times smaller than your planet. You're not that big. Just how you look at an ant and you say an ant isn't that big, that's the same way that the planet looks at you. And that streamline of consciousness that's being relayed from the galactical core, because your higher self, I told you guys, your spirit body is about between 40 and 60 feet tall. Your divine self, your highest self, man, that shit is about 3 times the size of that. And it has to find a way, because this is why I keep going over this again and again to you guys. It's like you trying to fit in Legoland. You can't fit in Legoland. If you tried to fit in Legoland, you would crush it. That's how your highest self is. The fifth dimensional aspects of who you are. For those that's talking 5D. That's how expanded you are. And you trying to put yourself into the little Lego. You can't bring all of that into the little Lego. You take a fiber optic particle of your being and place it into the little Lego man and let his ass walk down fucking Lego Street in Linden. Do you hear me? And he could get into the little Lego car and go off to his little Lego job and live his little Lego life on your behalf as you, because it's a particle of you represented in that speckle of a character, right? So when you receive a download, because I received 2, you get 3. You hear me? I'm putting everything in context for people. So when that streamline of consciousness is coming from the galactical core of your Milky Way, right? And it's being distributed to, listen, your fifth dimensional self. That's who can receive that bandwidth of consciousness with no problem, because it's in the physical dimension, but it's in the higher ends of the spectrum. And it commandeers that streamline of consciousness and relays it down to the spiritual body. The spiritual body sends it into your psychic center. That's as far down as it's going to come. And when you do that, when you receive it in your spiritual body, not while you're awake. You cannot do not attempt. I told a couple of students this before. They almost lost their fucking life. Thinking like, oh, that nigga don't know what he talking about. I'm going to try it anyway. Let me just see. Being curious. Almost got taken up out of here. That's something you do in your spirit body. You don't do that in your physical body. Your physical body cannot take all of that. It's like trying to put an ocean into a 12-ounce can. The can gonna explode. You hear me? Listen to what I be telling you. So when y'all picking up on those transmissions, those are those are transmissions that's being sent from the oversoul to you. That's your own higher self sending you that shit. You want to call it your ancestors. You want to call it God, universe, the eighth dimensional beings. Nigga, that's you. You still operating from you. It's just the higher aspects of you that you haven't aligned with yet. It's attempting to align you with you. But you got to get enough corridors in your consciousness open, and you got to get those occult nerves in your brain. They got to be fully activated. So I talk about the orgone, right? Because the orgone stopped on microwaves from it'd be distorting the channel. Some of y'all, all y'all millennials and Gen Z motherfuckers, y'all don't know about TVs that has static and shit. And you're like, damn, this shit's staticky. That's before they used to have that cable cord that went into the back of your TV. Used to have to get an antenna, right? And sometimes they had, pristine TVs that had that cable. But other than that, it'd be hard. Like, that's what happened with the microwaves. It started to distort. It made the channel staticky. And that's what's going on between you and your third eye. That's why I talk about the psychic center. You know what I mean? And those waves, like waves in the pool. Let's get up to 50,000. We're going to get up on the board, and I got to go through this, right? Because that was the prompting I got at my altar last night is go over the downloads again. That was a word that nigga Rashid Jamil used to always talk about download. You don't know what the hell he talking about. I'm telling you. I know the brothers that gave that nigga scrolls. It was after the fact. But when I got on here, because I thought this was just a dancing site for the gestures, right? But my children kept on encouraging me, like, yo, Dad, you need to go on to TikTok. Like, man, I ain't about to be dancing and doing all that. But they didn't tell me that it was people out here dropping knowledge and people seeking knowledge. But they seen that and they already know that's how I get out. And they was just like, yo, Daddy need to be on here. And I listened to my children when they told me that. I don't mind listening to the youth. Those younger than me, I take better cues from those younger than me than those older than me. Because they know what they into. I've been in their shoes before. No disrespect to my elders, because I listen to my elders as well. But I'm not too far removed to not listen to a child. The truth comes through the mouth of the babe. So I'm always attentive with what they got to say, where I can get my next inspiration and innovation. I'm highly cognizant that it could come from a child who just came from the fifth dimension. And a lot of these children are still in alignment with their higher sensory range and their more expanded self. They're learning how to cope with bones, flesh, muscle, veins and arteries, nervous system. They're not sitting down at a book learning how to ABC 1, 2, 3. They just absorbing every damn thing. That's the weird way that you're supposed to learn when you operating from you. And that you is the 1/3 of you that's not the 1/3 that's your mother and father. And we lose sight of that because we get too caught up on what's going on outside of our eyeballs. We allow that to have a precedence over the essence of who we are. And that's where we get lost. When you start going outside your eyeballs, you better get on that. You better get on that that Happy Now Valley kick. You better get on that what you would call Egypt or Kemetic kick. because that shit look like you. Now, I'm not saying there's not tribes and villages out there. If so, they've been desecrated, especially here in the Western world. But if, as far as you having some curriculum or some knowledge that has structure that identifies with you, that's the default setting. Period. I mean, all knowledge on the planet came out of there. Period. You show me something better than a pyramid. You show me something put together better than the sarcophaguses that they've grave robbed, right? They make a little sexy word, anthropologist. You're a grave robber. You're not an anthropologist, right? An excavator. You're a grave robber. Look what I found inside it. Oh, it's a body in here. I don't believe I found this. No, you didn't found it. You uncovered that shit, right? But as a child, you come here. You already got the gnosis. Your shit is open. You get dumbed down. By the time you 6 or 7 and you blow out them birthday candles, you done. That's why people refer to that aspect of themselves, which is truly them. They call it the inner child because that was the last time you was operating from that aspect of yourself. You was a child. Like, damn, that's where you lost it. You went at, spent the night at Jonathan's house. Y'all had pizza and went to a movie, and that was it. Now you was fully institutionalized into the social engineering program. Because Jonathan got a birthday coming up now. And you remembered your birthday and what went on at your birthday party. You done got accustomed to the party. You done got accustomed to Halloween. You done got accustomed to Christmas. This is when they initiating you. Then you go into school, which is the Hebrew word hell, right? And now you're no longer a child. Now you're a kid, right? And the kid is a baby goat. They had this store we used to love when I was a child called Kids R Us, right? Just love Kids R Us. Couldn't wait to go to Kids R Us. That meant everything to me, just to take a trip there. I just got to go to Kids R Us. Got to get that G.I. Joe or that He-Man that don't look like me. You hear what I'm saying? These are the indoctrinations in your early beginnings, which is found in the node of Offset within the tree of life. Early learning. That's dealing with the psychic center. For those that know, Offset deals with the psychic center. Right? Refer to my videos on YouTube. You're going to have to watch the whole thing to put all these pieces together. But I lay it all out there for everybody that need to know it, especially for the beginners. Those people that are COVID woke, that quarantine woke person. The only reason you found Rashid Jamil because your ass was locked in the house. You couldn't go nowhere. You ain't had no choice. You know what I'm saying? But he just wasn't putting stuff in context with people. He wasn't citing his sources, and he was stealing the. I'll say you stealing the information if you're not giving credence to the person that you got that shit from, man. Come on, man. The doc single-handedly raised the fucking Western world. Well, our people. You the reason you say the word Nubian, overstand. I'm not saying he originated these terms, but he coined it and put it out. He promoted it out there amongst our people in a way where it spread to our people. You know what I mean? That shit spread. Nubian, overstand. The information on Abraham and the Hebrews, saying that you Hebrew. He was the first one saying all of that. He was the only one making Nubian, which you would refer to as black images of the characters in the Bible, associating it with timelines and linguistic linguistic dialects that was being used along with that timeline. Nobody else do that for you. And it ain't no disrespect to a lot of these older cats that are elders now that weren't elders when he was in his apex. But y'all only speak English. This man speaks 23 languages and can write 19 of them fluently, letter for letter. You can't do that. Built a whole Egyptian theme. It was turning into a city. That's what we was working on. Building roads, hospitals. It was like, oh, we can't let these niggas do this. We got to find a way to fuck this up. Gargamel was not having that shit. You hear me? I was there in real time. That's no speculation. And I'll be John Brown if I don't bring it up. That's why I got the picture of the land up behind me. I'm not gonna let people forget. I'm gonna remind your ass every day. I'm a reminder. And my only beef that I got with the so-called conscious community is that them brothers are attempting to forget him. They attempting to forget what he has done. And I stand as a fruit of his labor. As a student, he was the supreme grandmaster teacher, right? And half the people I came across that's into Rashid Jamil, y'all got something to say about the doc when he's telling, this is his information. I told you, the doc came to me like, yo, man, go set the record straight. This is a nigga out there wilding. I'm like, where? Said on the TikTok. I'm like, oh shit, let me get my ass on there. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how TikTok worked, how it functioned, but I started seeing people with that 9 ether in their handle for their profile name. And I'll be like, Rahubat. And one girl live, I was like, Rahubat. And she was like, who you calling a rat? You calling me a rat and a bat? I'm like, man, this motherfucker's lost. Hell, she got 9 ether on her name. Why these people got all these nines? What the hell? They don't even know what the fuck they. See what I'm saying? That shit taking you on the path to nowhere. Charging y'all ass all that damn money for them crystals. That's why when we did them seminars, and this ain't the first time I talked about it. I'm just bringing it back up because he didn't crashed out, right? He didn't crashed out, and he got on 9 different people that's out there actually raising or lifting fallen humanity. You can't. They actually doing something, but he was selling y'all ass the crystal chains for $300. The first thing I did, this was the second seminar we had. I took everybody from the seminar and we went all the way downtown Atlanta. And I took y'all to the crystal shop, did I not? And I showed you where those same damn chains that he's selling for $300 is $8. They $10. Maybe he tried to say, he projected some type of, 8th dimensional consciousness through a rainbow portal. Maybe he told you some shit like that. You hear me? But he paid $8 for it. And something else I didn't know about. Shouts out to B Dale because he went in on that nigga. I ain't even. I'm just like B Dale. I don't have to watch his videos. And people get offended when I be saying like, man, that nigga ain't got nothing I need to learn. What can he tell me? Are you serious? And people would be offended. Like, how dare you? Like, yo, man, that nigga just manipulating your emotions. Just a new Pastor Pork Chop. But he walking around with racks in his hand like he a rapper. But that's what he really wanted to be, was a rapper. He didn't want to be no, he didn't want to put that work in. Ain't never wrote a book, ain't never held no seminar or event. This first event was a video shoot. And I told y'all about that, brother. Taking you down the path of nowhere. Talking about shooting at police. We don't talk like that, man. I will never tell you to do something that will put your life in danger. And anybody that does present themselves in that manner, you get the hell away from them. You hear me? I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you that. Then come to find out the brother 40 plus. You acting like you a goddamn thugaboo. Like you like you 21 Savage age, nigga. You not 21 Savage. And 21 Savage ass getting a little too old for that bullshit. But I'm just saying, you not no Gen Zer, nigga. And it's not 2005. Not no more. It was 2020, whatever the fuck, when he got locked up. And I don't wish nobody to get locked up, period. But I've been told y'all about this nigga. And shouts out to the young brother B. Dale again. You know, that's another young brother from the pyramid. He younger than me. Faison 1. Shouts out to Faison 1. He younger than me. And he younger than B. Dale. You hear me? We got strikers out the pyramid now. We ain't nothing to fuck with out here. But I don't have to push those people. When it's others, shouts out to my brother Messiah, El Monte. Shouts out to Don Nicolio. Shouts out to the House of Who. Shouts out to the OSM brothers. You know, I give it up to y'all in the UK and the ones in Trinidad. It's not a game. Just because y'all ass was walking around with a fluoritic stare when this shit was going on, that don't mean that it wasn't going on. Just because it wasn't going on for you. And y'all should feel fortunate to have somebody that's been around that time and still staying 10 toes down and treetop tall with it. To point out the bullshit and the inconsistencies that's coming from some of these motherfuckers. It's looking to add to the plight of our people instead of the progression of their mind and prioritizing the divine inside over all this bullshit. You hear me? So I had to say that for the people that's like, oh man, this nigga don't like Rashad Jamal. I don't know him not to like him. I just see through what the fuck he had going on. And don't get mad at me because I got foresight like that. And I got insight like that. And I'm in alignment with my oversoul. Don't get mad at me for that, man. But I've been told y'all about that nigga years ago. I knew something was off because the second I got on the TikTok, I tried to find a brother page and they was like, yo, he just got locked up. I was like, when? It was like 3 days ago. I was like, damn, I just got on here. Because that was the first thing I was gonna say to that nigga. Like, nigga, how come you not saying Baba's name? The hell you and why what's all this shit you making up? You making that shit up. You pulling that shit from some bullshit. You need to put them blunts down. Stop talking about ether without saying Dr. York. That's on my mama. The ancestors got on his ass. Like I told y'all, I'm my ancestors' keeper. The second I even heard about this nigga, the ancestors got on his ass. Like, oh man, they seen I didn't approve. Oh, they gotta get out of here. Baba Rudy ain't fucking with you, nigga. And now I'm here to fill in that void. Because I told y'all, go watch Nature Boy 2.0. That's on the YouTube. Nature Boy 2.0. That sister went in on Rashid. And I was led there, listen, by one of the people that was unalive, a victim of one of his so-called, I don't want to say, it's an unofficial follower. Because he didn't have no structure. He didn't have no students. He didn't have no digital community or offline community. It was just all over the fucking place. So people would hear what he's saying and they like, oh, you know everything about the end. That's why I be telling y'all about niggas that be telling you shit about the end. Stop listening to that shit. Because it's somebody over there it's somebody that's emotionally fractured. And they may not be processing things correctly and functioning correctly on the standard of living in this social engineering paradigm. And they put themselves in a vicarious situation where it's fucked up. And they'll go into survival mode and into, you know, hood boogerism and do something crazy. Y'all tap that like button. I know y'all heard the stories, man. If you haven't, I just give you the skinny on it, right? And the brother had unalived his mama, his paraplegic brother, his little sister, locked them all up in the damn house and said that the pigeons was cameras and shit. And they coming to kill him. And it's like, what the fuck? You bugging out, nigga. That's not what's happening. They took his ass to jail. For real, man. You don't have I had just uploaded a video. Like, people be wanting to take shortcuts. People that's compelled to take shortcuts and looking for instant gratification, they're going to be compelled to move into the dark side. Start working with Baphomet. Start working with the pentagrams and the hexagrams. Start conjuring up demons and opening up portals for them to come into this dimension. I done seen it. I done seen a person go from divine to dark because they wasn't patient and obedient enough to generate a result under their own volition. They needed some assistance, or they wanted some assistance because they wanted the shit to happen fast. Just give me all of the damn secrets to the universe. Tell me everything that you know. Like, nigga, that shit would drive you crazy. If you had the chance to download my conscience into a zip drive and upload it into yours, nigga, you would go fucking nuts. You would lose your damn mind. You get hit by a car. Get so caught up in the damn thoughts, you'll just lose yourself. You hear me? We'll get there, but let's deal with the physical aspect of things first. You see, it's goofies like that that got people imagining, getting caught all up in the ideologies of things, speculating, reaching, making shit up, speaking from a place of psychosis. That's not cool. That's not right knowledge. That's not right thinking. You can't be in your right mind that way. That's not being responsible, listen, to the opening of the third eye, right? Because I told y'all, people say they getting download, those just transmissions. It's analogous to if you got Sirius satellite radio. How many of y'all got satellite radio? Because even if you don't, just put it out in the comments if you got satellite radio. Because it'll work better with somebody that got that, what I'm about to say here, right? And somebody might say, oh man, Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson having a roast off on the radio right now. You say, man, is it on 107.9? No, it's on Sirius satellite. Oh man, I don't got that. Like, hold on, I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna turn it up. Listen, I'm gonna turn this up so you can hear it because I know you don't got Sirius satellite. And listen to him roast. You put the person on FaceTime and start recording the FaceTime so you can have what you're hearing off the Sirius satellite radio recorded, right? This is what your light body is doing for you with your oversoul. And it's relaying that. This is why I keep telling y'all it be relaying it. Relaying it to you. That's a transmission. That's not a download. When you turn on Sirius satellite radio, you don't download the whole fucking what's being played for the day. Your antenna, listen, is picking up on that broadcasting wave. You hear me? You're picking up on a broadcasting wave. That's not a download. Like I told you, a download will bring you into an inch within your life while you out of your body in your light body. Your light body can't even receive all that shit. You almost die in that body because it's overwhelming. Your divine self is 3 times the size of your spiritual body. Your spiritual body 3 times the size of your physical body. But you are in the body, and all of you can't even fit in the body. Only about 12 ounces of your consciousness, of the ocean aspects of who you are, can incarnate here. And in order to operate from that aspect of yourself efficiently, based on the conditioning that you have accepted in this social engineering program, listen, especially if you only understand English, is you have to deprogram from the spell because it's been crystallized into your inner dialogue and gave your mind enough know-how to manipulate you. Now your mind works against you. Instead of handling all the tasks, it handles all the tasks that it's supposed to do. Now it's been programmed to go ahead and work against you. You know. And this is what's occurring. And on top of that, you got to deal with people like that. Right? He just looked to take advantage. You know, like the brother said last night, shouts out to B. Dale, man. Hey, he went in on that nigga. He went in, and deservedly so, because he tried to call him an agent. Sakari, or however you say his name, called him an agent. He called CC the bouncer an agent. He called, like, man, whatever, man. Stick to your rap career, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You want to be a rapper and you good at rapping, then rap. Rap that shit, but don't get out here acting like you got something to teach people. You still want to be on the damn block like a dope boy, putting up stacks of cash and shit. It's the first sign of a broke nigga. Always want to show how much money he got. And when I say broke, I don't mean financially. I mean spiritually broke. You know what I mean? It take that to make you a better person. Don't it take you to make you a better person? Not the money. You got all that damn money and didn't get you a lawyer, knowing you was on some goofy shit. Come on, man. Only reason I'm getting on his ass because he got on B. Dale. See, I never said B. Dale name on here, but I watch B. Dale. I watch everybody from the pyramid, right? But you try to get it on that brother, all they do is just highlight it. And that brother just gave you your props. He showed you a lot of love. Show you how his character. And I'm fucking putting more dirt on this nigga. I don't give a fuck. Because I told y'all that from day one. And y'all know my saying. Do not say that you haven't been told. Don't say that you haven't been told. And some of y'all still got faith in that nigga. Oh, Rashid. He's an excellent teacher. He was using you. Right? He was using, listen to this. He was using the genuinity of spiritual people and the spiritual community in order to, as a catalyst, to give himself a rap career. Come on, man. See, I didn't even go that deep in on that nigga. I just surface leveled him. I just assess him very fast. Peace of love. We say something like he the reincarnation of the ancestors. I was like, hey, he the reincarnation of the ancestors. Nigga, we are the reincarnation of the ancestors. Come on, man, you gotta do better than that, G. Because somebody's like, man, you gotta hear this nigga. I'm like, man, he ain't said nothing. They sound like he been reading a couple of scrolls. But he damn sure ain't no Nawabian. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember him. People was like, oh, you hating on this nigga. A couple of people told me I was hating on him. Like, no, man, I don't got no reason to hate on him. He not, he not doing nothing to me. I just had to come and set the record straight. And all y'all people that got that 999, some of y'all got 9 either on your name. It don't even say 9 either. You got 9 either. And I know you off a branch of his upbringing. That's not even an upbringing. It's like, damn, man, just get the fuck out the way. Or cite your source and say, hey, man, I'm not really that good at breaking all this down. You need to take out Dr. Malachi's and Duck York Hill. Or go see one of his students. These are the students of him. If he would have did that, then he would have kept his ashe. But he blew his ashe on a little BMW he had, the video shoot that he was doing. I don't even know if that was his or not, but I got a rag on your ass, nigga, because you got on fucking B-Dale, nigga. B-Dale intelligent as a motherfucker. Your ass gonna try to say man, please. Please. That nigga's a Chicago nigga. Street hustler. If that. I don't know. But enough with him. Let's get back to them downloads. Right? Because that seemed to be the residue of Rashid. Is people talking about downloads. I'm having a download. I'm getting a new download. That's not a download. You're picking up on transmissions. Right? You're picking up on transmissions. And those transmissions that you're picking up on are being relayed to the spiritual self, which is in alignment. You call that your higher self. But it's you. It's just the aspect of you that couldn't fit inside the body. Because you the spirit. Like in this room I'm in right now, and I done told you guys this before, your spirit takes up the whole room. You take up a whole room. Not your body. You. You have been convinced that you are the body, but you're not the body. You're not the body and you're not the mind. These are utilities that you what? That you utilize in order to interface in this reality. Right? We're going to always keep going over these things again and again, you guys, because I want you to get this. All right, we almost at 50,000 likes, so we're going to get it on in. All right? That was from yesterday. Y'all missed it on the YouTube. Go check the replay. I got it up. Add new centers here on crafts in groups of 50. Talking about the Anunnaki. Another topic people like to talk about and keep going over. Right? It's fucked up that Rashid would just purposely mislead people the way that he that he had, man. It's just fucked up. Very colorful character, very charismatic and entertaining. You know, it's like a conscious preacher, right? Yeah, the Anunnaki. Oh, he said the Anunnaki. I hear you, brother. Right? So we're gonna go from the head again. I know somebody thinking of the earthbender, the airbender rather. Gonna go back to the pineal gland, to the glands in the head. All right. So that's a face. This is the pineal gland. This the pineal gland. That's also the seat of the crown chakra. These are your binary glands, right? Binaries. These are glands in the brain. All of this, these is in the brain. And then you got the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, right? That's dealing with the third eye or the mind's eye. That's the first eye, right? And what's essential for you guys to do, because I come join us in Atlanta, March the 6th. March the 6th, for all the people that got tickets. We're gonna meet up in the park. If you get in town early enough, we meet up in the park, and I'm gonna show you guys how to inhale that sunlight and how to also sun gaze with your mind's eye, not your two eyes. Use your mind's eye, right? This is what decalcifies the glands in your brain. It's gonna stimulate the mind's eye, the third eye or the first eye, to come out the brow chakra, right? It's the crown, and this is the brow, right? And when you inhale that sunlight, it sends the signal through the nasal bone, and then it bounces off. This the light in your brain now. It bounces off like this. It create a tetrahedron or a pyramid right in your head, as above, so below, as some of you will say, right? But this is the lowest portion that your higher self will come to, is right there, right? Right in the brow chakra. It's not going to come down no lower than that, right? It's going to stay, it's going to meet you at that station. And this is the first seat of consciousness, the brow. Let me just put it like that. It's the first seat. That's where your consciousness resides, right? Now, as you go right here, that's the heart plexus. And this is the second seat of the unconscious right? Then you come down here to the solar plexus, and that's the third seat. And that represents the subconscious mind. You follow that? Let me get a nod in the comments if you guys are able to pick up what I'm putting down. Shouts out to Chef Tyree. That's who I know used to always say that. Right? All right. Okay, y'all following. Okay. So your mind covers the full aura. Let me just do it like that. Right? So we call this the mental field. Right? And your mind separates into 3 dimensions. The mind separates, because this is the realm of illusion, where things appear to be separate, but they're really connected. The mind separates into 3D, 3 seats, right? 3 functions. Y'all tap that screen for me now. Let's tap the screen. Tap the screen. All right. Share the live with a like mind, somebody that may need to hear this. So the mind separates into 3 parts. You got the first seat of consciousness that's in the brow chakra. That's not in the heart. So y'all be using your unconscious. Y'all use unconsciousness to move around in this dimension. I'll say that again. You're using your unconscious to navigate your way through the material landscape. You're not using this because your heart is beating autonomously, right? Your mind is controlling because it sits down. It separates into 3 parts: here, here, and here, right? Mind, body, and soul. Let's say that again. Mind, body, and soul. But these are all, the mind separates into 3 seats and 3 functions. So you got the consciousness that's connected to your will, right? The unconsciousness is connected to your memory, right? And, oh, excuse me, put that another way. This is connected to your will. This is connected to your gnosis, your know-how. And this is connected to your memory. See that? From the 3 aspects of your mind. Now, your know-how is, you always hear that term that the mind, the brain and the heart not on the same page. They're telling you it's the brain, but it's the mind, right? The mind, the mental field is right here in the brow. It's in the pituitary gland. They make you think it's in the brain. That's why I always tell people, hey, where is your mind located? The mind that you functioning with while you walking around here is the unconscious mind. And the reason why it's unconscious, right, is because once you go to sleep, you become fully conscious. Here, the knowing self becomes awake, not the superficial self that depends on will. And the unconsciousness of your mind is why your heart is beating, it's pumping blood and distributing blood to the central nervous system, The liver is sending neuron messages to neuron centers in each organ to let it know how to function. You hear me? You ain't doing nothing about that. You could be at work writing out a report. And while you writing out a report, that sausage McMuffin you had that Sunday morning or that Monday morning, it's digesting in your body and you ain't got to think about it. You're unconscious to what's going on in the body. You follow? But you are still functioning. You're using your higher sensory range right here in order to focus on your task at hand while your unconscious aspects of your mind is taking care of everything in your body. And your subconscious aspects of your mind is recording everything that is going on in the body. And it also records everything that's going on once you leave out your body. But your unconscious mind doesn't have access to that, right? This is linked to your ego, right? And to help you guys remember that so you don't desecrate your ego, what do we call the ego? Somebody tell me in the comment section. What do we call the ego? No, we don't call it the self. It's an acronym. It's an acronym, Zay. There you go. The electromagnetic generated organism. That's right. Somebody been paying attention. The electromagnetic generated organism, right? That controls the body. This is mind. This is body. And this is soul. See that? Mind, body, and soul. That's what you have access to. These are the different degrees that you function from. Now, while you awake, you use most of the stuff you're doing is on autopilot. Most of the things that we do while we're awake is happening in autopilot. That should be a gem for you people that know about the 9 gates of consciousness within the 9-point principle program in the 1089 tech space. This should help you with your 9 gates of consciousness, right? So while you're awake, everything you're doing on an unconscious level. You already know, right? You already know how to get up out your bed. It could be dark in your room and you know how to get up out your bed and go to the bathroom. Especially if you got a bathroom in your bedroom, right? I get up, I got a bathroom. So I get up, I move the ornament out the way, right? And put it next to the TV. So my cat can sleep on that. He be wanting to sleep on my bed. I'm like, no, you sleep on that ornament, nigga. And now I really get up. I get up out my sleep and go to the bathroom, like ASAP. No problem. No lights on or nothing. And lift both of the toilet seats. Right? In pure darkness. Because I'm used to doing it. It's on autopilot. Even though I came up out of my sleep to do it. When you go to work, you don't think about going to work like you did the first day that you went there, like you do after being there a year. It's just become a formality. And most of the things you're doing in the awakened realm, you're doing it while you're unconsciously doing it. Now, if something needs to override the unconsciousness, the mind kicks in. The mind kicks in like, oh, hold on a second, right? Now you'll know how I got to take over. You got to come off of autopilot. It's analogous. Listen, I'm giving y'all gems today, man. Let's tap that screen. Let's get 100,000 likes, man. Share this live with 9 like minds. The people need to start grasping this shit. Y'all think y'all got time to bullshit. You don't. Listen, when you in the car driving, And let's just say you're in Austin and you're trying to drive to Dallas and you're going to take the 130 pole to get there, right? Now, y'all know you can go about 100 miles an hour on that toll road. You get about 100 miles on there, the state troopers ain't going to fuck with you now. But you didn't put it on you didn't got on the toll road and you didn't set your thing to 90 miles an hour. Automatics, you didn't set your speedometer to 90. That's what's going on. You on autopilot while you awake. You know how you done got it on automatic steering, automatic driving, and then some asshole in front of you hit their brake, and now you got to come out of automatic. You got to go out of your settings, your drive settings, and grab the wheel. That's what happens with your body, right? That's what happens with the body, and the mind you had to use your will to operate with your know-how. And a lot of times you're pulling that from your memory. You're not even doing that intuitively. You follow what I'm saying? I want to make sure that people are grasping this and getting this concept down. Because like I told y'all, I'm here to wake up that lion in you. I wasn't lying to you when I said that. I'm here to wake up that lion in you. I'm here to wake up that tiger in you. I'm here to wake up that king cobra in you. I'm here to wake up that damn mystical dragon in your ass. Right? That shit laying dormant. And you're not using enough of your willpower to tap into the higher seat of consciousness. You want to operate on autopilot. You've been programmed to do that. You're not even thinking about what you're doing. You're just doing it. Right? Because you didn't thought about it long enough to now you're just doing it on autopilot. You know how when you wash the dishes and you put the dishes away, you go get a cup, you know the cup is up in there because you washed it. You don't think about where it's at or none of that. You just do it. Your son or your daughter need to get picked up from practice. You just do it. It's like a it's one action. It all happens in one flow. You go to the grocery store. At first, you used to go down the aisles and you ain't know where nothing was. Now you know where every damn thing is at. Now you're starting to find new things that you didn't know about. Unconsciously. That's not happening consciously. That's happening unconsciously. You don't become conscious until your body lays down and go to sleep, and then you take over, right? The soul journeys with you, and it's recording everything, good, bad, or indifferent. That's why I say you have to think positive. You have to start saying positive things to yourself on a daily basis, on a constant basis. Something we go over on Money Making Mondays in the Google chat is, listen, this is a new jewel for y'all for Money Making Mondays. It's what you do them first 15 minutes when you wake up, right? I implore you, get right into the shower. Don't even waste no time. Just go jump right in the shower. Run through your codes. Run through your affirmations while you're in the shower. Reaffirm those codes and them affirmations after you get out the shower. Then do it a third time after you dressed. And if you got an altar in your home, and you recite that shit at your altar too, then you leave out the door. You ain't got to do it no more for the rest of the day. Not in case you get a unit of leisure time to perform that task again and do it again, right? Because the subconscious mind is recording everything, and it's only going to respond to what you're repetitiously saying the most. So whatever you put in your thoughts, your words, and your action into the most, that's what the subconscious mind is sending a signal up to the oversoul, to the mental field. And once it touches the mental field, your divine self picks that up from the 13th seat and says, oh shit, this what you want? Okay. And it make it happen. It put it in a way where only you will understand it. Not where your mama gonna understand it, not where your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your baby daddy or your baby mama or your husband or your wife or your neighbor, where you gonna overstand it, right? Because you got the know-how. You just not tapped into that aspect of yourself. And we bring everything into symmetrical alignment. When you put the orgone around your neck, especially if you let it touch your skin, it's going to line up every electron in your body symmetrically. It's going to make a whole bunch of seed of lives and flower of lives, right? Flowers of creation, symmetrically, and then encapsulate them in the mental field so it can better, effectively, and efficiently allow the neurons to send neuron messages between neurons. That way, your unconscious mind could even become even more available to you and help you operate from the brow seat. You hear me? Because that's who you are. You just think that you this body. Remember, your ego is making you think it's the electromagnetic generated organism. You generated this organism out of your mental field. And you came through the pineal gland of your father, right? You shot down his vertebrae column and out of his gonads and through his phallus into your mother. I'm giving you the full play-by-play to show you how all of this stuff is mental. You are a mental creature pretending to be a human. You're playing make-believe. You're playing with clay. Shouts out to Kanoum. Kanoum sits at the potter's wheel. That's where they get Harry Potter from. Harry Potter. They're talking about a clay potter, the potter's clay. They casting spells on y'all, but they don't want you to tap into your psychic center. Because once that antenna open up, man, you can pick up on the signals. The pyramid. Having a pyramid. I don't care if it's a OrgoniteTEK pyramid or some pyramids you done picked up from a gift shop in the airport. Just sit in front of the pyramid and it's going to amplify your mind's eye antenna. It's going to make the antenna go up even stronger or longer so it can pick up on further transmissions. They're highly effective having pyramids in your life. You could take the pyramid, and I do this all the time. I'm going to show you. This is my book of notes. And sit the pyramid on top of it, and you concentrate and just stare right over the edge of the pyramid. And then listen, your mental field to pull the information through the book, through the pyramid, and stimulate your third eye, and you will start spitting the information that's in that book. Or when you open that book up, it's going to definitely open to the page that's in alignment with the thoughts that you was picking, well, the transmissions that you was picking up from that book, right? This is a very efficient technique to use while learning and studying. But you got to want to do those things. You got to want to be bored. You got to want to not go out to the club and go kick it with the homies and go kick it with your boo thing all the time in order to pull off these tasks. But for some reason or another, we feel like we just got to be seen. I just got to be there. I'm just so bored. You know what I'm saying? I just got to be around everybody. No, you don't. You need to be around you. Said you had to strap it up to your forehead to activate it. You had to strap what, the pyramid? What you saying? Do it like this? You saying do it like that and that'll activate it? All you need to do is be over it. It's gonna magnify it. No, you don't gotta do all that, man. All you gotta do is stand over it. That's it. And you better be careful what you think, say, and do in the proximity of a pyramid. Because it's gonna magnify what you're saying. I hear you. But what I'm telling you is it don't take all of that. It don't take all of that, bro. Humble or die. Okay. All you had to do was stand over it or sit with it and sit in front of it. You say something, it's gonna magnify it, or it's gonna put you in alignment with the transmissions of what you're talking about. Good, bad, or indifferent. So you got to be careful when you're around your pyramid. Don't say what you don't like. He said, "I'm with you when you right." All right, we can agree to disagree. I'm just saying that I'm not gonna say that it's not gonna leave you activated doing this, right? I ain't gonna say that it don't activate the pyramid. But what I'm saying is, what's more essential than just putting a pyramid on your head is putting a pyramid in front of you and invocating what you want. Because then what's gonna happen is people gonna start thinking, oh man, I can't pull my mind's eye out. I gotta have that pyramid on my head in order for it to work. And it don't take all of that, right? Put that pyramid down and especially for my people that do the money magic and the yeah, you can use a glass of water, dude. Put it in front of the glass of water. Uh, your oils, I put it on my oils as well. Keep the oils right there, and I put my oils on, and it attune me to the frequency that I need to be on. Right? When I go out and about, and I got my oil, my Baruti oil. This one almost gone. Right? I put my oil on, and if the person not on the right frequency, they start coughing and sneezing. Sometimes they can't stop coughing. That's how I know that their frequency too low. And I just disengage from that person. I'll talk to them for a minute, but I end up disengaging because I know. No, I mean, but anything you put around the proximity of that pyramid, it will happen. Do it with your books, the holy tablets. I always put my pyramid on top of the holy tablets, and I just sit in front of it. So you gotta trust the power of you. When you're capable of trusting the power of you, you become the conduit that's utilizing the apparatus of not only pyramids, unks, amulets, talismans, words of power, incantations, but you got to be operating from you, right? The total you, the 3 in 1. They tell you the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, but it's the mind, the body, and the soul. When all 3 are activated as one, you become your full mental field and you start operating from the conscious seat, which is right here in the third eye. That's why they call it the conscious community. And people that are unconscious operate from their heart, and they're more enamored with their thoughts, their emotions, and their desires, right? And as we talked about in several other lives, that's where the battle took place between the angelics of Michael and the angelics of Satan. It was the battle over your heart, and mind. One being wanted the divinity in you to blossom. The other one wanted the divinity in you to dwindle so that they can rule over you and conquer you. They did not see you as an equal. You follow? Peace and love, beloved. Anybody else? Any other questions? Got any questions out there? Q&A time. Q&A with Dr. Ray. Come join us in Atlanta, March the 7th and the 8th. March the 7th or the 8th or both for the 1089 seminar. Tickets are available on the website. VIP tickets are available. If you in the AAA community, I got AAA prices. I don't know if y'all seen that. Y'all probably didn't scroll down far enough. But for those people, y'all, my AAA students always get the discount, you guys. They do, because they putting in the work and they taking that time to step away from their altar. So I got to grant them that ashe, But the tickets are available. We will be coming together March 6th, and we'll come together for a prerequisite to the seminar. Get out early. We're going to do some grounding, some breathing techniques, showing you guys the proper posture to have when you're meditating. I'll even go over some instructional things in real time. We'll probably do a 10 or 15 minute meditation session. I'm also going to go over OrgoniteTEK in person. If you guys want to do OrgoniteTEK together, we could, do the prayer out there in the park. No shoes, no socks, and get it on in, right? Then I'm also going to be administering the staff. So people that get the VIP tickets, y'all will get hit with the staff on that day too, right? So come join us. Tickets are available. Hit the event section of the website. Link is in the bio. Or come join us on a school that's the midway between the TikTok and the 1089 tech community. I implore and I would prefer for you guys to come and join the 1089 tech community, right? Because I really don't got it. There's no restrictions on what I could say or what I could teach in that capacity. And a lot of y'all be wasting that time like shit. Ask me no questions there. Because I ain't going to get flagged or blocked. Or if you're in the tech community and you get a subscriber pass, you get access to all of the content. Like everything get recorded, right? We got a lot of content. I'm not going to run out of content. That's one thing that's not going to happen. But anybody got any questions based on what we covered so far? Don't be shy. Ask your questions. Or tap the screen. I'll keep on talking. Right? But they talk about the conscious community. That's what they're talking about, is the brow chakra. Your consciousness is opening, right? Your, not the body, you. You are a mental creature. And you operate from your mind's eye when you're awakened. When you're operating from your heart, you're operating from an unconscious place. And you will tend to call these people sleep because they're unconscious to the consciousness that they are. I'll say that one more time. They're unconscious to the consciousness of what they are or who they are. They're only conscious of the unconscious aspects of who they are. And that's right there in the heart, right? The ego, the will. You think because you got ego and will that's you. You didn't allow that aspect of the mind to manipulate you. And it wasn't built to manipulate you. It was hypnotized. Don't you know how you watch the superhero movies and they hypnotize the good person and make them go against the other good person? That's what these witches and these warlocks did with the grimoire. To make you go against your own mind. Shouts out to Dolores Cannon. She's a Caucasian lady. And that don't mean nothing, but she the one that exposed the grimoire to the modern, to Generation X, if you will. She presented that to Generation X. How do you spell the days of the week? TRANCE. When you awake is a prerequisite to a funeral. It's the party for the dead. And then you say good morning, right? These are incantations. These are spells that affect you on an unconscious level. Because you just going to say the shit. Oh, good morning. There's nothing good about morning. And you won't even attempt to break the crystallization of that spell until you actually fully mourn for someone. Let you have to mourn for someone. And then somebody say, hey, it's nothing good about mourning. You're going to refer back to the word mourning and the last time that you mourned. And then it'll kick in consciously. Like, damn, you're right. It ain't nothing good about mourning. I check with my subconscious mind, right? I did the knowledge. And I went to my subconscious mind, and I didn't feel good when I was mourning. Let me say, what should I say instead? You say Grand Rising. Say Rahubat. Say Hua Mana. Right? Say something else other than good morning. Then you greet people with hail. Hello. Hail is low. That's operating from the lower field of consciousness. Because once you go below the solar plexus, right? And we'll talk about this in 102. When you go below the solar plexus, your consciousness is operating in the lowest fields possible. And now when you go beyond the subconscious mind and you thinking with the little head, right? Now you leave your solar plexus, or you leave your this aspect of the mind unoccupied. The unconscious will try to go into the subconscious area in order to facilitate that unoccupied space. But the mind, the consciousness, will not leave its station. And now you've been influenced. Now you're being influenced by something else because you done went too low. You done went below the subconscious memory. You done went into the sacral. You have an over sensation of pleasure and desire, right? Or creativity. Now you go down into the root and you're looking to birth that creation into reality. But you still have to return back up to the conscious mind, which is in the brow seat. It's in the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is the physical manifestation of your consciousness. It's the physical it's the outlet that your brow chakra plugs into. But you can't see your brow chakra. It's intangible. Just as the mind is intangible. It doesn't register on the visible spectrum. So they'll say that that's not that. It's just the neurons. The neurons is the residue of the presence of mind. I'll say that one more time. The responding mechanisms or reactions that you see in your neurons, your neural patterns, the neural mapping of your brain, that is the residue of the presence of your mind. The neocortex, that area, that is proof of presence of mind. And they trying to study that area. And right now they done turned it up to 6G. I'm looking I gotta keep saying it because my Wi-Fi is showing me 6G right now. And when they unroll 7G on your ass, now they gonna be all in your psychic center. They already in there. You was thinking about some hash browns and the chicken biscuit. And while you was thinking about that Pizza Hut, like, I wonder if they still got their deal. You didn't even said it. You just thinking it. It then mapped your brain. Because the processor of the AI, because now it's using AI to analyze you. It's not using data. It's using a synthetic consciousness to map out your brain. So it knows how you think. It's outthinking you and making you more lazier when it comes to thinking and making you less available to your own psychic center, your own consciousness. You nullify your own intuition. I told you, the battle that took place in heaven was over the hearts and the minds of the Enoshats, or what you call mortals or forgetful beings, on this planet. I'm going to keep saying these things over and over and over again till it crystallizes into your mind. And one day you'll be like, I got it. Damn, man, he been telling us this for a long time. I finally get it now. But this is the mind. These are the seats of consciousness and how they function in the body. I don't know if you guys knew this already. I don't know if you did. Y'all tap that screen for me. Remember, this is the mental field. That's the outer fringes of your aura. That represents your mental field. You got 9 layers that represent your aura, right? And I'm just going to draw it over it just to bring it home, right? You got 9 auritic shells that protrude from each chakra point. You see that? So you got those layers of mental fields that go over the body. They all tethered to the crown. The crown is the central point for the 9th chakra, which we call that the what? The sky chakra. And the sky chakra connects to the 10th chakra that's over the head. Let me pull up my notes, which is actually the plasmatic chakra. Some people will call that the etheric seat, right? The seat of ether, plasma, the same thing. Then you got, this is the connection with the sun, which I'm gonna have to start making a bigger graph, right? But that's the connection to the sun and activates the plasmatic grid field integration. So this integrates your consciousness with the higher, a whole nother chakra field. Then you go into the solar, not to be confused with the solar plexus, the solar century, which sits at the 11th seat. And that's the integration with the sun and activates cosmic grid field integration. This allows you to see across the cosmos and to pick up on transmissions across that scale within the field of the chakra spectrum. 12th, you got the divine century. This is cosmic integration with your galactical portal entryway, right? This is taking you into your 13th seat, which is the cosmic century. And that deals with galactic integration, you know, with your galactical gateway. You start going through the portals. You can enter those portals through yourself. And see, I got some stuff coming up. Like I told y'all, Raynology is mental knowledge. It's mental knowledge. It takes application. It takes repetition. It takes routine. It takes ritual. And you're not going to burn in hell if you don't do it, but don't be expecting no results if you don't stick to it, man. What I've experienced with a lot of people is they'll apply some of the instruction and the direction that I give, and they'll get a little nigga trinket, and then they give up. They'll be enamored with the little nigga trinket they done got from applying the stuff that I showed them. And they happy right there. But it's like, yo, keep that shit going. And they fall off. And then they got to start back over again. And they get discouraged. But I told y'all, the final boss is your mind. Your mind is the final boss. You can't allow your mind to defeat you. You hear me? You got to come out the unconscious seat. Because 90% of the stuff you do during your day, you do it on autopilot. You don't think about pissing. You don't think about defecating. You don't think about eating. You think about what you want to eat, but you don't sit there and contemplate every bite. You just go through the motions. You hear me? Same thing when you trekking to work and back home. Same thing when you open up the refrigerator and you close it. When you open your door, when you close your door, how you lock your door, your channel setting, when you on your TV, all of that shit on autopilot. It's crystallized. So you're functioning on an unconscious wavelength, and you're using a beta wave to function on that unconscious wavelength, instead of just getting into an alpha flow with it. So we be very reactionary to the things that's occurring in our life, in our reality, right? This is why it's essential to address your deficits. That's something we put up in the school platform, and that got the most comments, and people seem to be the most engaged on that one post. And that's good. That's good. I'm glad that you guys are going over that and looking at what other people are saying as well and learning from one another, right? You're learning from one another based on what the other person is putting down there. So if you guys, that's why I asked you guys to add a comment to the discussion on all those posts. If you have something to say, go ahead and write it. Shouts out to Mother Edinburgh and Miss Lovely. They always giving, their perspective on what they watched or something that I posted. But that's the main post. Conscious and context. I told you, unconscious incompetence. That's when you're not aware of the things that you don't even know that you should be aware of, that you don't understand. Then unconscious incompetence. That's when you become knowledgeable of yourself and you realize that you have deficits and you will seek to address those deficits. Then you go into conscious competence. This is when you overcome your incompetence and now you're looking to develop new skills to refine your competency, right? Then you have a context of consciousness, right? And that's when you're capable of operating from these three seats of consciousness within the mental field. My phone, I'll just be like, hibernate. I tried it the other day and it did it. While I was washing the dishes, I was like, hibernate. I just projected it at it. That motherfucker hibernated on my ass. I was like, oh shit. Something else that happened. I thought of 4 people. I had uploaded a whole bunch of subscriber videos. I thought of 4 people. I sat there in silence for about 10 minutes. The 4 people that I was thinking about, they all was liking my videos. I had notifications from them, the same 4 exact people. So I sat there silent and still enough to pick up on the thought waves. I was using the video as a medium to connect to the people that was liking the video. But you got to trust in the power of you. You got to trust it. You can't kind of be shaky. You can't be on the fence. I don't like fence straddlers. I don't like indecisiveness. Like, I can't make up my mind which way to go. Like, nah, get out of here. You don't trust yourself. Even if you're wrong, you get more kudos for being wrong and at least trusting in your instincts and your intuition, which are closely linked to each other, right? At 2 ends of the same pole. You just got to strengthen that trust and strengthen the trust of the power that you emit. Not that I emit, that you do. I give people the game all the time, like, yo, man, go outside, go inhale the sunlight. Get some Tama sets. Get you 99 of them things in. Call out the 99 nectar root. Some of y'all got words of power, right? And like, yo, project that shit. If you do that stuff consistently, you gonna get results. Think about it. It ain't like you've been doing it all your damn life. So don't expect it to pop up and give you the result at the rate of a person that's been doing it most of their life. Expect the rate of somebody that just started doing it. And then whatever does happen, you'll be grateful and empowered by the result that becomes visible to you, right? That's why you have to convince the unconscious mind, the seat of the wheel and the ego, which is right there in the heart, right? You have to convince this shit. And what we're going to be dealing with on March the 8th at the Het Hiru event is how to override the unconscious mind. We're going over that, how to override it. Y'all tap that screen for me. Tap the screen. Let me refresh myself. Tap the screen. We almost at 100K. We almost at 100K. Anybody got any questions? I know y'all be liking to hear me teach, but anybody got any questions out there? Peace and love. What's up, Sekhmet? Sekhmet came in right on time. How you doing, loved one? Taking a couple of pictures. I'll post those to the school. But like I said, I'm here for the people that want to learn. So how to override the mind. Shouts out to Marky. I didn't say override the mind. I said override the unconscious aspects of the mind, right? That's the body. We find it very difficult to override that from our seat of consciousness, which is right here in the brow seat, right? And I gave you guys, you may have just came into the room. You done missed it. But inhale it. Got to inhale the sunlight. The same way that the sunlight touches the plants, your grass, your wheat, your vegetation, and your trees, and causes these particular organisms to grow. Imagine what it's doing when you inhaling that sunlight, when you taking that sunlight in. Imagine what it's doing to you. What's occurring inside of you is your consciousness begins to expand, right? It begins to expand. And that aspect of you is in the brow century. That's your consciousness. That's the conscious mind. In the heart is the unconscious mind. And while we're awake in this realm, we operate with our unconscious mind. We don't use our conscious mind to function in this reality. It's operating, thank you, timekeeper. It's operating on autopilot. You know, don't you know how you set the seat? What do they call that, y'all? When you set the settings on your driving, on your steering wheel, and the car just be rolling at a certain speed control. Is that what it's called? Cruise control. There it is. Thank you, D-So. Cruise control. Don't you know how you on cruise control? And then the car in front of you make you come out of cruise control? That's when you override the cruise control of your body. Your body is operating on cruise control. Until a dog run up in your yard and try to bite you or some shit. Then you the first seat of consciousness, that's when you are in total control. And you take over, you override the unconscious of that. You hear me? And you be like, oh shit, you jump up on the car. If you swift enough, you kick the shit out the dog. If you got the Michael Jai White skills and shit, you will kick the dog and shit and then land on him with a Greg the Hammer the Valentine elbow and shit. You feel me? Hit that nigga with the elbow, the dog be like, because your conscious mind it took over. No. But that's an example. I hope that answers your question, Marky. Yeah, that's what happens, man. We be on cruise control. You might not think that you are, but you are. Your unconscious mind is governing everything that we do while we awake. It's taking care of everything for you. It just prompts you and say, hey, you got to go pee-pee. Hey, it's time to belch. Sometimes it'll pull stuff up from your memory. Like, hey, don't forget you got to do this. You'd be like, oh, shit, I forgot. You ever did that before? You'd be like, damn, I forgot to yourself. And then you remember. That's because your unconscious mind was helping you out. No, after it then got the heart pumping and distribute blood to all the places it need to go, it start looking for something else. Hey, boss, what else need to be done, boss? You don't give it nothing, it start going through your subconscious mind. Starts going through your memory. This aspect of the mind to see what else it could do. Because it already then took care of the oxygen that you breathe in, making sure you can hear, making sure you can see, so you don't have to focus on that. You don't have to focus on your breathing while you're driving. You don't have to focus on digesting that salad that you had for lunch and making sure that all the nutrients got pulled up out of it. You don't have to do that. Your unconscious mind does that for you. All you got to do is focus on the damn road to make it back to work on time so you can clock back in. You hear me? But people are unaware and underdeveloped with functioning from the conscious mind, from the conscious aspects of themselves. And that's what raynology is. I told you guys I'm a teacher of raynology. That's dealing with mental knowledge. 1,089 degrees of clarity. I want you to have clarity. I don't want you speculating. I don't want you guessing. I don't want you reaching. I want you to trust the power of you. That's it. That's what I teach people how to do, to trust the power of them. I told y'all, I'm here to wake up that lion in you. I'm here to wake up that tiger, that falcon, that eagle, that phoenix bird. I'm here to wake that thing up. I tell all my students all the time, they be like, yo, Dr. Ray, how do you get paid? You know, just because you purchase a medallion or something, that I don't get paid like that. I take in spiritual currency. So the things that I show you to do, once you do them and get a result from it, then I get paid. Then I get my hickers. Then I get my sequences of power, my words of power. That's how that stuff come to me. People got to be utilizing the stuff that I'm putting out there for them to utilize. If you just listening and you just squandering that shit, then you siphon it from the energy that I took in order to disseminate that information to you. You end up siphoning parasitically the currency that I'm looking to collect. And I ain't talking about financial fiat. I'm talking about, you know, it's like a pay forward. And it's like, damn, man, ain't not even doing this shit. Why even listen to it if you ain't gonna do it? What good is knowledge and science if you can't apply it? If you can't apply the mechanics to what's being outlined for you, what the fuck good is it? It's just another way to waste your time and to waste my time. You feel me? But like I said, I'm here for the doers. Those people that's ready to do. We got enough people thinking, we got enough people that got know-how. We ain't got enough doers. And that's what I'm raising, a community of doers, not fence straddlers. Can't be a fence straddler. Can't be a procrastinator. They always fall to the back all the time. Like, shit, I've been bullshit. One of my students, I ain't gonna say her name, because she a student, but she be procrastinating. She be MIA. And she admitted, like, I be bullshitting, Doc. I've been fucking up. I can't stop procrastinating. You operating on an unconscious level if you can't consciously override. And that's why we're going to have the Het Hiru seminar. And I'm going to show you guys how to override your unconscious mind. These are all prerequisites leading up to it. So for my devotees, those people that show up to and attend these events, that's why they don't be missing nothing. Because at the seminar, you right there in real time with me. There's no interruptions. We do take bathroom breaks and a lunch break. But outside of that, you honed in and focused on getting pertinent information. And they'll tell you, we go the whole time, 9 a.m. to 7 or 10, because, you know, we be on color people time a little bit. We take a minute to get started, but once we get rolling, we'll go from the sun up to the sun down. You hear me? And then the next day. And then after that, it's back to my regularly scheduled program, and I'm still dropping more information. But if you was there at that destination, right? If you make it to the destination, you get a database of information that will plug in a whole bunch of holes of everything that I covered prior to that destination and after that destination to the next event. And then more holes will be plugged in. Because you got to realize, when you talk about infinity, when you talk about eternity, that shit is not measured by the length of your lifespan. It far supersedes it. Right? So it takes some time to consume all that information and process it correctly and then apply it into your life. I tell everybody, 1089 is the magic number. That's how many days of consistency, dedication, and devotion. In some myriads, you ain't got to be all out. You ain't got to be all in totality. But every day you had to be chipping away in order to convince the oversoul that you ain't bullshit. Because your own oversoul won't give you something that you're not ready for. You try to access it too prematurely, you're gonna end up like Rashid Jamil, right? End up taking people on the path to nowhere. And he never had a teacher, he never had a guide. He just got quarantined in the house. He got to rolling up too much of that wacky tobacco, and that shit started to dictate who he was to him. Now his third, I ain't gonna say his third eye wasn't open, because it was. But he wasn't in alignment with himself. And the information he was drawn from, he wasn't aligned with that either. He didn't even take the time to align himself with it and process it correctly before he started to disseminate it. And he not alone. There's a whole bunch of other ones out there like that too. Because if you don't got no spiritual foundation, no spiritual system, and no spiritual connection, the fuck you out here doing? I'd be remiss if I don't say these things. I told y'all I've been on this journey over 29 years. And there's people that's been on it 39 years. And there's people that's been on it 49 years. And all of them are in agreement with it. Like, yo, man, you on point with that shit, buddy. Hey, man. That's what happened when you take that initiative and put in that necessary application. We did a whole thing. That's what we gonna do for Dallas in November. We're gonna go spiritual application, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna integrate it all into one sitting. Because that was the main going theme the first 2 years was application, applying yourself, learning what it is and learning the nuances and the tapestries of things that you're saying and doing. Right? Thinking, saying, and doing. Then when you start doing it, you doing it consistently, it begins to crystallize. I seen that, timekeeper. Thank you, sunshine. Thank you, beloved. So these things have to crystallize into your consciousness, not into your unconscious, into your consciousness. That's how I have such a connection with the crystal kingdom, because I got enough of the right things crystallized in my consciousness, and I send it through my psychic center, and the crystals communicate back with me. I have a definitive connection to them. And for everyone that's purchased the tech from me, what I be sure y'all, I like, yo, man, what you feel drawn to the most? That's what I tell people. Pick which one you drawn to. Don't ask me to pick it. You pick it. You got to trust the power of you. That's where it begin at. That's how I know you're serious. When you purchase that piece of tech and you join our community, I'm like, this person trusts their power. I'm about to show them how to harness it and how to apply it into their life and impact their reality. All the way up to the point where some people don't even need that. They might just need an encouragement, or they might need to, they might have gaps in their understanding, and I'm just here to plug that shit in. The tech gonna do the rest because I program it first to fight the radiation, and then to work with the appropriate chakra that's associated with that crystal within you. So if you meditating, sun gazing, grounding, chanting, praying, dreams walking, astral traveling, the orgone gonna help you. It's gonna bring you into alignment, man. I mean, I'm a result-based, effort-based teacher. I want people to get results. I don't want you to not have results. If you come to me and be like, man, this shit not working, that means you ain't doing shit. That shit is not hard to figure out. Hey, shit, that shit can only mean one thing. Shouts out to Ricky Rick, man. What's up, Ricky? I gotta talk to Rick, man. Yeah. Anybody, any other questions out there, man? We gonna get on off of here. Who am I now? Who am I now? It's an excellent class today. Come join us in Atlanta. Like I said, March the 7th and the 8th. We almost a month away. See how quick that pulled up on you? Almost a month away already. I remember this time last year telling people about the seminars for 2026 and 2025. And take that as a something to you guys. Already start planning 2027. Don't wait until December 31st to talk about what you want to do in 2027. Start doing that shit now. So that by the time 2027 comes, it's already crystallized. It's already happening for you. You hear me? That's all you gotta do, beloved. Man, do not wait for 2027 to arrive. Start outlining it right now. Start putting it together start putting things in place right now. Start planning and preparing for whatever it is you want to do for next year. Start outlining that shit right now. So by the time next year get here, you are already comfortable in the template of how it's going to appear. These are beneficial directives that I give to people, man. All you got to do is apply it. We doing the moon magic. People been getting their results with the moon magic, especially on the internal level. See, things start internal before they become external. And all you had to do is be consistent and trust the power of you. You got to trust the power of you. Because you separate into 3 stations as well. Me, myself, and the I. And when I say I, I'm talking about this I and not the ego's I. And when you start to dial into these aspects of yourself, you start to go through the layers of the superficial self in order to operate from who you truly are, right? Which is a mental creature. Your mental energy. You got mind power. You just been convinced that you just this body and that's all you are is this limitation. That's the biggest front and lie that's ever been told. That people find out ain't real after they leave their body permanently and see that they still exist. That'd be the most mystifying thing to some of those that have transition is that they not dead. They still exist. And they acknowledging their presence in their existence. It mystifies them. They become perplexed and wonder how come they unconsciously just accepted the suggestions that was given to them. Then almost automatically, they become compelled to want to return and do it again. Say, man, I could do it better than this next time. The next time I come, I'm not going to do all this shit. I'm not going to fuck this up. I'm going to get it right this time. I'm going to get to do this and do that because, shit, man, I still exist. But that's just on the earth plane. That's why it's important for you to get as much knowledge as you can You got to turn on enough light in your consciousness. And that light that you turn on in your consciousness, that's what transfigurates over into the afterlife with you. And then that also returns with you in your next cycle of life, the next incarnation. But everything that's lying dormant, it has not been activated. It doesn't, it's still lying dormant in your next cycle of incarnation. If you should incarnate again, you got to activate that. Like you will see a lot of children that are born, they be 2 or 3 years old and know how to play the drums. They can play with a full ensemble. They had some little white boy in Canada at some playing with a fucking orchestra. I want to say he was about 5. But he was getting the fuck down. And they was like, yeah, he been playing the drums since he was 2 years old. And people mystified at how he was playing the drums. He was just a drummer that in his last incarnation, he had activated that light consciousness and he tapped into that creative center and it was crystallized. So when he incarnated again, he automatically had that, still had access. And notice I said that the boy was 5. Yeah, it couldn't have been no longer older than 6. That's why I said children are still in tune with that aspect of them that predated them incarnating back into the shell. They still got access to that once they incarnate. We fucked that up by sending them to school, teaching them the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. They was absorbing all type of shit. They was starting to go into the turquoise end of the electromagnetic color spectrum. And you done took this motherfucker to school. You done took them to damn daycare. And they just throw SpongeBob in front of their face and give them a bunch of sugar. You know what I mean? And play a bunch of hypnotic spells for them. Now it's brought the child into their dormancy. And they might have been a damn a nuclear physicist in their last lifetime. They was about to open up an equation where they was leaving off before they died. You hear me? You just don't know, right? Because we operating on an unconscious level. You unconsciously go to the store. You unconsciously put gas in your car. You unconsciously, let me tell you, I unconsciously took the trash out the other day. Took out the trash and put a new bag in there. Thought I forgot to put a bag in there. Walked past the trash can, didn't even look at it. Walked past the trash can, went to go get another bag and went to put it in. It was like, oh shit, I already put a bag in. And see, sometimes we'll overtrust. Listen, we'll overtrust our cruise control. You're not supposed to overtrust it, because then it'll start overriding you if you depend on it too much. I was like, damn, man, I'm on point with that shit. I started sweeping the carpet. Got a little carpet piece in my kitchen. I'm like, man, let me just go ahead and clean this up too. And do something since I overlooked that. Like giving myself another task. Because your unconscious mind can't do everything. That's what got you second guessing yourself and not listening to the first mind, which is you, the conscious mind. Hence, when people say the conscious community, it's like, yo, everything is conscious. Even if it's unconscious of the fact that it's conscious, it's still conscious. We're going to keep this clarity going in this great day and time, man. I'm going to keep it going. You know, I dedicate this whole platform to those people that are hashtag spiritual beginners. Those people that's just becoming awakened. Those people that's just leaving the confines of their organized religious institution. That's being held hostage by Deacon Dior, right? And Minister Michael Kors. And Minister Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton. Pastor Prada. You hear me? But they be holding people prisoner. They be holding them hostage, shaming them, guilt tripping them, gaslighting them, alienating them. And ain't none of that shit that they doing in the scripture. And all that person came to church to do was to connect to God. They wanted some salvation. They thought Jesus was the truth and the light, and nobody could get to the Father but by him. And they were sincere about it. And these people are taking your sincerity and victimizing you, taking advantage of you and manipulating you. And I'm here to put everything in its appropriate context. And I think about those people. Because I ain't going to say I was one of them, but I seen it when I was in the church. And them fucking pastors, most of them is Masons anyway. They know they telling you some bullshit. They know they need to be telling you about Egypt, and they not. Shouts out to Ray Hagins. Ray Hagins been real quiet lately. Shouts out to Ray Hagins. He's an elder. And he was a pastor at a church. He had his own congregation and switched his congregation off of Christianity and turned it into Kemetic sciences. Look that man up, Ray Hagins. Let me write his name on the board. I got to give him his salute. A lot of people don't give it up for Ray Hagins. That sister said, I know him. Yep. She know you. Then you know I ain't telling no lie then, right? But a lot of y'all ain't a real Ray Hagins. And a lot of people in his congregation turned their back on him. Like this nigga done lost his mind. He trying to tell us that we Egyptians. The Egyptians is evil. Egyptian look like your damn granddaddy Cleopas. And look like grandma look like grandma Charlene. You know what I mean? Look like grandma Rosa. And you gonna say, oh man, shit, that's evil. But that brother, he attempted to raise his congregation up, right? Because he probably went into that Masonic hall and was like, man, I can't take this shit, man. We got too many sincere people that really want to make a real connection. Let me tell them the truth. Because it's right there in the book, but people just don't read. Too many lazy thinkers. We gotta eradicate lazy thinking. Y'all using that chat GPT the wrong way. MIT did a research on this 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago? No, they said in 3 years, at the rate that people using chat GPT for the shit that they're using it for, they're going to lose the ability to think. And I told you guys 2 years prior to that posting, listen, that people was going to lose the privilege to think before it happened. I didn't prophesize it. I didn't say when it was going to happen. But now they backing up all my claims. That's how I know I'm on the right frequency. All the stuff I be talking about, somebody come out after the fact. It'd be a year or two after the fact and they backing my claims. Just like B-Dale. Shouts out to B-Dale. 1014. Right who back. K5 at the end. Right? Shouts out to that brother. You see, he got all on fucking Rashid Jamil. Y'all call him Rashad Jamal or whatever. But I've been saying that shit. I didn't go all the way in on that nigga. Didn't need to. Didn't need to. I seen enough just on the surface. Like, oh man, this nigga's pseudo. Y'all got mad at me for that. Y'all got mad at me for getting on his ass. Y'all got mad at me for getting on Dr. Umar ass. Y'all got mad at me. Y'all act like I done stuck you up at gunpoint or some shit. I didn't do none of that. I'm just trying to put you up on game. That's all I was doing. Somebody got to do it. Because there's a lot of people out there seeing y'all make fucked up mistakes and won't help you. They won't even hip you to it. They'll see you going through it and still won't say shit. I'm just keeping it 10K with y'all because I've been on this shit over 29 years. I did not need YouTube. YouTube was not available to me in this capacity. Y'all should be using this to your advantage. That's why I said you don't got the time that you think that you got because it's that much more accessible. It's even less and less obstacles in order to obtain the information and knowledge. The conveniency is at an all-time high, and y'all still be wanting more. There's certain stuff I can't even say across here because they gonna fucking suspend my live, and then the whole live is lost. Just to compensate for what one person wants to know. I can't do it like that, y'all. I can't do it. That's why I tell y'all, come out to these events, and we could go in all day. I wish I could stay for 12 hours up in that bitch and I'd drop it. But I had to raise the price on y'all ass, right? I'm already keeping it as quaint as possible and try to find a geological location where everybody can get there sufficiently. You ain't got to worry about nobody spying on us or nothing like that. They ain't like that's going to happen anyway. But can't nobody come into that event and say, okay, I don't like what you're saying right now. The event ends right here. We're going to cut your internet connection. Nobody could do that when I done put the money down for the fucking event and I signed the fucking contract on that motherfucker. It ain't nothing they can say about it. In fact, keep your ass on the other side of the door. If you be a disturbance, a couple of my sentries gonna tap dance on your ass. So keep your ass and let me get the people what they really, 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 really came to get. And see, you got to keep that shit to your chest and use it to your advantage. Because you earned the right to have that information. Don't squander it. Don't squander it. They'll be like, man, shit. It ain't too mad. If you already there, you need to be out here fucking banging on the beats. Period. You need to be on the front line like the rest of the brothers and sisters that's dedicating their life and their energy. I can't help but to, man. Too many people then already, too much blood has been spilled, man, for me not to. Not in this great day and time. Called Noon Tirade. All right? So that's that. You guys go ahead. Right now it's 1:44. We're going to get on off of here. May the ancestors be with you in this great day and time.
Never too late. Raise your frequency, prepare to be great. Take the key from me and head for the gates. Thankful we can see the better way. Each one teach one lesson the way. Raise your frequency, it's free. I just pray that you see what we see, and that's heaven away. I am the blood. Take discord to the discord. Let's go together today. Time to dig deeper than a seer speaker. We was sleeping. We